The world of Minecraft, where the discussion of a flat or round Earth actually makes sense. And for the next 100 Minecraft days, this world will be inhabited by creatures known as Pokémon. No matter what biome you will find yourself in, rest assured you will find Pokémon as well. Soaring through the skies, gliding through the currents, living happily in the plains, and many, many more. Over the next 100 days, me and my friend Ash decided to take the quote, "gotta catch 'em all," very seriously. We are going to attempt to complete the Kanto Pokedex containing the original 151 Pokemon from the first generation. We were joined by our lovely British friends Dan and Ryan, who won't be competing in the challenge. They were just there to discover the mod pack together with us. The more the merrier, right? But before we can start, Ash had to tell us how everything worked.
So, we're here.
Ash, what are we doing?
We are playing 100 Days of Minecraft in the Pokemon world. There's only one butterfly, but in the Pokemon world.
There's a Bunnelby over here. All right, let's go. After forgetting everything he said the moment he was done talking, it was time to start with the Minecraft basics and get wood. The starter that I chose for this playthrough is Charmander because I never really choose fire starters and I wanted to pick a starter from Kanto to have my first dex number completed. Then right after I cut the tree, I moved towards a village that had some hay bales which I turned into food for Spoon and friends. It turned night pretty quickly after all that yapping from Ash earlier, and someone decided to sleep through the night and start day number 1. Yeah, we start our 100 days from day 0 because that's what Minecraft uses to start counting as well. Now, it was time to start the Pokemon side of things, so I challenged this Sentret that I found. After using Amber and Scratch a couple of times, I won my very first Pokemon battle. Ash and I figured it would be easier to take the fighting into our own hands as we brutally murdered a Growlithe, but it didn't give my Charmander any XP, so it was quite useless. Then I got some stone to get the usual tools, and as it was nighttime, I got attacked by a skeleton, and as Charmander tried to save me, he sadly did not survive. Rest in peace, Charmander. You will be missed while you slowly heal over time. Then my time came. And as I respawned, I thought I found a Pokeball.
Ooh, hush.
I thought I found a Pokeball, but it's a fucking Voltorb.
You married Spoon.
The Pokemon troll.
On day 2, it was about time we went mining to get some resources. I very quickly found a mine shaft, which also led me to my first diamonds. I let Ash mine the diamonds and then made myself an iron pickaxe for any more diamonds I might find. Although, I didn't really get the chance. Oh, and also, I'd like to introduce you to this conversation my friends were having.
Yeah. Do you eat your noodles with or without the pill?
I eat mine with
Wait, you
The
guys eat
packaging.
noodles?
to save bin space,
I use noodles to wipe my ass.
and then eat it.
Oh, that's not what they're made for.
They aren't?
No,
No.
Oh.
you're supposed to just put them on the side of the toilet bowl after you've been for a pee, so it cleans the toilet when you flush.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that makes so much more sense. I can just
They're
say
they're
that.
really good. Like if you're trying to like clean your plates, like doing the washing up, you just use a block of noodles.
You guys are fucking the worst.
What?
What do you mean?
Then I thought it was about time to start making a livable house, but there was a certain creature that tried to provoke that idea.
Oh, what something do you eat? Fair enough.
I think something happened to Spoon Ghost.
Now, if you didn't see my gigantic house that I was building, this is my quite enormous mansion that I'll be living in. But it still needs some windows. So I got some sand. And I made some windows. Perfect. Now, we are on day number 3 and I haven't caught a single Pokemon yet. But everyone knows that to do so, you need Pokeballs. And to make Pokeballs in this mod, you need Epicorns and Copper. So I went out to go look for Copper. Good thing about Copper is it isn't very rare, and when you mine it, you get quite a lot. So now I just needed some Epicorns, which didn't take too long to find either. One of the Epicorns that I harvested also dropped an Epicorn sprout, which can be planted to grow a whole new Epicorn tree. This way you can farm them close to home, which I did later on. And when I was peacefully battling, a creeper decided to take that away from me. But anyways, I still didn't have enough Epicorns, so I went out again to try and find some more. And I ended up finding pink ones, which will make me pink Pokeballs. Now my Charmander needs some levels, but I don't think getting one-shot by a Wingull is gonna get me any. But on the bright side, I found some more Epicorns. This time they were black, which can make us a variety of Pokeballs when combined with the right Epicorn colors. Like if we get yellow ones, we can make Ultra Balls. After finding some more red Epicorns, I was finally able to make some normal Pokeballs, so it was finally time to start catching them all. But first, it's time to have a nice organized place for all my stuff. On my quest to catch my very first Pokemon, I found an Eevee which I was determined to make mine. I initiated the fight and I got Eevee to a low enough health to start trying to catch it. I threw my Pokeball, waited while it was wiggling, until it broke out. About 7 times. And I only had 7 Pokeballs. So I made some more Pokeballs and went out again to try and catch something else. I found a Magikarp that decided to consume all 4 of my Pokeballs as well. This game really hates me. So we tried again. I found another Magikarp. Time to capture this son of a sushi roll. And so I captured my very first of many Pokemon that I needed for the Kanto Pokedex. And to make this day even better, I evolved my Charmander into Charmeleon. Alright, now time to evolve Magikarp, because I really want a Gyarados. While I was leveling Magikarp on day number 7, I found this little fella, which I caught. Then I kept fighting to evolve my Magikarp as soon as possible. Which took me to day number 8, where Magikarp evolved in this beautiful Gyarados. We are finally doing some Pokemon stuff, which made me really happy. Like catching this Lickitung. And this Turtwig. Now, Turtwig isn't a Kanto Pokemon, but he's just very cute. I mean, just look at him. And he can sit on your shoulder, which I didn't actually know. This is the best thing I have seen in my life.
Right?
Then I made a PC where I can store all of my Pokemon in. And then on day number 10, I caught a Magnemite, which is another Pokemon we can check off the list. Now, we're on day number 10, which means that we are 10% of the way there. But we are still unable to heal our Pokemon whenever we want it. So it's time to make a healer. But for a healer, you need an item called a magical herb. And these grow in lush caves. So everyone started looking for a lush cave. And in the meantime, I caught this Psyduck. And then I stopped searching for a lush cave because Ryan already found one together with a magical herb. Very convenient. Then Ash and I were having a conversation when this happened.
Somehow the world got changed for me and it is so wonderful.
You listen to that 5 times a day, don't you?
Actually, Spoon,
Bro, I
I'm
found
gonna
a
tell you that it's literally just chance. Because I always...
got a
anytime-
pigeon! Yeah, sorry. Sorry. Then I caught a Meowth, which is another step closer to our goal. And then I started battling for some XP. Which I did for an entire day, because if I battled enough, it would mean that I could evolve my Charmeleon into a Charizard. Now get ready, because after this I went on a spree. What spree? Well, I caught a Caterpie, a Tangela, a Drowsy, a Coffin, a Growlithe, a Butterfree, Eevee, Pidgey, a Rattata, a Lickitung, which I might have forgotten I already had. But yeah, that's a couple extra numbers for our goal, so that's really good. On day 16, I found a Waterstone, which I used to evolve Eevee into a Vaporeon. I also traded my Pidgeot for Ash's Mankey, so Ash had a Pokemon to fly on as well. And then I caught this Weedle. The next day, Ash told me he found something very interesting.
Crazy!
What have
Hey
you
guys, you
found?
wanna know what I found?
The Temple of Time or
Floor is
whatever?
lava. Oh my god.
He killed
Oh,
me!
he found Sky
What?
Pillar.
He killed me!
You found a Rayquaza.
That one does.
How did you find Rayquaza?
It's just a structure, a giant tower in the desert.
So I took off to Sky Pillar, which took ages. Until I accidentally pressed Shift, which dismounts you from your flying Pokemon. So while I was on my way again, Ash already caught it. GG Ash. Then I caught a Mr. Mime. And I found out I could evolve most of my Pokemon, so I did. I evolved Pidgey, Weedle, Rattata, Caterpie, Kakuna, and Voltorb. After that, I caught a Ponyta, and I decided I wanted some XP shares to make my life a little bit easier. So I went out to find the materials for it, and I caught a Goldeen along the way. On day 20, I got killed by a Ghastly. Twice. And the next day, I found out that I have some sort of survival skills. Kinda. Yes. Oh no. I'm alone. I'm half a heart. How am I surviving this? I'm alive.
You're not.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Run. No. I'm alive. Eat.
Holy shit. And what a roller coaster you're going through, Spoon.
What the hell's going on over there?
After that, I caught an Arcanine for the Dex, and the day after, I evolved my Ponyta and my Mankey. And we had a big surprise today because these skeleton horses spawned, which is very rare. Now, there was something I didn't know. Apparently, for Pokemon to learn new moves, you have to do that manually from the Pokemon menu. There is more I didn't know about this mod, but you will find out about that later in the video. Speaking of things I don't know how to find Amethyst because it's been 6 days and I haven't found any. I really wanted a couple of EXP shares, it would make my life so much easier. But without Amethyst, I can't make them. But I did find a seal, which I then caught, of course.
Yo, you sealed the deal on that one.
On day 25, I continued my habit of dying to Pokemon in a cave. Now the day after, I continued to die while I was trying to find Amethyst. I was a little upset at this point.
Ooh.
Yo, the go back made him go.
Ooh, someone's angry.
So to calm myself down, I did the most calming thing you can do in Minecraft. Farming. Ah, very lovely. I finished the look of the farm, and I felt a lot calmer already. To make myself a bit happier, I treated myself to one of the skeleton horses that spawned earlier. Now back to battling. Now after a lot of battling, I was able to evolve my Magnemite and my Drowsy. On day 29, Ryan came up to me to give me some mangrove trees. He knows I love them a lot. Now, a quick disclaimer before we continue. I streamed the full recording of this video on Twitch, and on day 30, I accidentally forgot to turn off my stream overlay on the recording side of things. So everything from now till day 80 will look something like this. I had to use a different way to get my POV without the overlay, so my POVs will look a little bit different from now on, and you will see it change back to normal in like the last 20 days. So yeah. Alright, let's continue. So on day 30, I got attacked by a whale with my new empty POV lol. It honestly doesn't look too bad, it's just very smooth or something. Oh well. I caught a rock, and I evolved that rock twice, which gives me Golem for the Dex. And on day 31, I caught a Tauros and evolved my Seal into a Dugong as well. Then on day 32, I evolved my Psyduck into a Golduck, and Dan gave me an Execute, and I didn't know that Mr. Mime could make things fly. On day 33, I had a very intense fight with a Swellow, but right after I was able to evolve my Goldeen into a Seeking. Then the next day I was able to find this little ghostly fella, which I caught and also evolved. And then I evolved my Meowth into a Persian. Now, we were talking about evolving Pokemon earlier, and today I did some more. I evolved Coughing by leveling it, I evolved Execute with a Leaf Stone, and Haunter by trading it with Ryan. Well, he traded me back, because otherwise I wouldn't have it. Well, thank you, Ryan. Now that everything has evolved, I needed new Pokemon for my Kanto Dex, so I went out to find some hanging around. Later in this video, I will go look for Pokemon more specifically, but right now I can still find new ones here and there without aiming for specific ones. Also, we changed to peaceful mode because I didn't want to keep getting bothered by annoying Minecraft mobs. This also means that Pokemon won't attack us anymore. Anyway, I caught this Igglybuff. On day 37, nothing much interesting happened because I was still trying to look for Pokemon that I didn't have yet. And that went on for an entire 2 days. Until day 39, I found a town, which had some interesting loot that I tried taking with me. And then I found an Arbok, which I still needed for the Dex, but I accidentally killed it. And then I found a Pichu, which I also still needed for getting Pikachu, but I killed that too. It's going well. Then I evolved this Vulpix that I caught earlier. I also caught the Zubat and evolved it as well. And then Ash gave me a Shelder that he had double. I caught a second Eevee for the Dex, which I evolved into Jolteon, which meant I only needed Flareon left for the full evolution line. And I also caught a Jigglypuff, so I did not need my Igglybuff anymore. And on day 41, we turned the difficulty back up again because we wanted to go slay the Ender Dragon. But before we did that, on day 42, I found an Alolan Vulpix for Dan, and he gave me something interesting in return. After that, it was time to do some Minecraft stuff. Let's kill the Ender Dragon. Mainly because we wanted an Elytra and stuff, but it was such a hard fight, something we've never done before. And when the dragon was dead, this Guzzlord decided to spawn, which we took turns trying to catch with quick balls, but Ryan was the one who got it. So GG Ryan, have fun with your Guzzlord. Now after that, it was time to find ourselves an Elytra. We all went into 4 different directions and we didn't stop until we had 4 Elytras. It took me a while to find my end city with the provided boat, but I got it, and that's what matters. And I got some other cool loot from the chests as well. Then on day 44, I went home, and I made some shulkers and organized my stuff. Arriving on day 45, Ryan actually went on vacation, so he won't be with us for the upcoming couple of days. The whole reason why we killed the Ender Dragon kind of soon is because he wanted to be there before he went on vacation. Bye Ryan, we'll see you in a couple of days. But anyways, I also caught a Magmar today, so we got another number for the Dex. And the next day, I wanted to find some more Pokemon, because they will not find themselves, and find some I did. I managed to catch a Doduo, a Rhyhorn, a female Nidoran, an Oddish, and even an Arbok, which, if you remember, I killed earlier, so now we finally have one. But it didn't stop there, because on the next day, I caught some more. The Pokemon I caught were Farfetch'd, a Dodrio, meaning the Doduo from yesterday was quite useless, but that's fine. And last but not least, a Pharaoh. To complete some more Dex numbers, I evolved some of my Pokemons as well, the Pokemon being Oddish all the way up to Vileplume, Shelder into Cloyster using a Water Stone, and Nidoran into Nidorina. And then Ash helped me finish the evolution line by giving me a Firestone. Taking a break from finding Pokemon, Dan gave us a very good impression of Professor Oak. You know what would go cool? Mega Professor Oak.
Mega Professor Oak. I fucked your mum twice, Ash.
That sounded so happy. It's day 49, and Dan just told me he found a Sky Pillar building. This building spawns Rayquaza, if you remember correctly. Ash and Dan already have a Rayquaza, so Dan gave me the coordinates, which were really far away. It was so far away, it took me an entire day to arrive. But now that I was there, it was time to start catching Rayquaza. I wasn't sure if I was going to make it with the Pokeballs that I had on me, but even if I don't, I would be able to make some more at home and fly all the way back. But I didn't want to travel that long again. So luckily, I didn't have to. I am now a proud owner of a Rayquaza. Speaking of Pokemon that are able to fly, the controls of flying in this game were a bit weird, and to make life a little bit easier, we decided to give us all an Unbreakable Elytra so we didn't have to use our Pokemon that much. And with the end of day 50, we are now halfway of our 100 days. Now here is the list of all the final evolution stages that I have for the Dex, and we still have a lot more to capture, and let's not forget about the legendaries that Kanto has. At this point, we had no idea how we were going to acquire them. But anyways, if you're enjoying this video so far, be sure to hit the like button. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button as well. I make more 100 days videos, including my most recent one where Ash and I survived 100 days in Minecraft Hardcore in the worst biome ever. Now to wrap up this sellout moment, I also have merch if you are interested. Here are some examples of what I have to offer. And if you want to take a look on the website, you can find it in the link in the description. Now let's continue to catch them all, shall we? Now starting the second half off very strong, I actually fell asleep because I was very tired that day. So we decided to stop recording for that day. We have quite some Pokemon to go still, and these 4 need a Moonstone to evolve, so I had to go get some. There are 2 ways to get them. Mining the ore, which spawn in a Dripstone cave, or it also has a small chance to drop when you defeat a Lunatone in battle, which also spawn in a Dripstone cave. So let's find a Dripstone cave, shall we? Now fast forward, I have been looking for Moonstone ore for about 4 days, but without any luck. I did manage to evolve both Slowpoke and Rhyhorn though, so we weren't being completely useless. I decided it was time to start killing Lunatone because it might give me a better chance at obtaining the Moonstones that I still need. Although the drop chance is only 5%, but I had to because I couldn't find Moonstone ore anywhere. While I was on a murdering spree, I managed to catch an Onix and a Clefairy. Clefairy being one of the Pokemon that I needed the Moonstone for. Oh, and also Ash started singing.
Every challenge along the way, with courage I'll face. Every battle, every day, to claim my rightful place. Come with me, the time is right. There's no better team.
You don't say.
And we're in the fight. It's always been our dream.
I quickly realized that this wasn't going to be easy because it's been 2 days of killing Lunatones, but still no luck. Speaking of things I hadn't found yet, I actually found Amethyst after like 30 days. So I decided to go home at the end of day 59 and come back a little later for the Moonstones. And when I got home, I finally made some EXP shares, because we had the Amethyst for it now. After a small break, I was on my way back to the Dripstone Valley when I found this Krabby over here. Yoink! And I evolved the little guy as well. Same goes for this Paris, caught and evolved. Moving a little closer to the Dripstone Valley, I found this weird tower which had some pretty good loot, and then I found this little guy who lost his mama. Yoink! And when I arrived at the Dripstone Valley, I thought now was a very good idea to start organizing my PC boxes to be in Dex number order. That way, at the end of the 100 days, I should have a Dex of final evolutions in my PC boxes. And when I was done organizing and ready to find some Moonstones, Ash kindly told me that he had 2 Moonstones that I was still missing. So I went back home again, and I evolved 2 of the 4 Pokemon that needed the Moonstone to evolve. Now I just need a Nidoran male to complete the set, and I didn't evolve Jigglypuff yet, which I had a reason for, but I honestly can't remember what that reason was, so yeah, I evolved him a bit later. Then I evolved the little Cubone into a Marowak, We also needed the 3 starters for our decks. Well, I only needed 2 because I started with Charmander. But Bulbasaur can be found in a jungle biome, and Squirtle can be found in a river biome. Both of them are extremely rare, so to maximize the spawn chance of Bulbasaur, we decided to burn down an entire jungle, so Bulbasaur has more blocks to spawn on. And I caught this Bellsprout while we were at it. The next day, I found an Elekid, which I still needed for Electabuzz, but I killed him. So yeah, pretty useless. And then I went out looking for Bulbasaur and Squirtle in a different area from Ash's location to maximize spawn rates. Only this forest wasn't burned down. Yet. While I was still on the hunt for Bulbasaur, Ryan managed to find an underground dungeon where apparently Mewtwo spawns. Lucky son of a bitch. Speaking of lucky, I found a Bulbasaur and caught it in one try. And immediately evolved him into Ivysaur, and then Venusaur later on as well. Still not as lucky as Ryan, but it comes very close, I'd say. Day 67 was another catching day, including Diglett, Munchlax, Staryu, and an Abra, which I also evolved all the way to Alakazam. The next day, I managed to evolve both Staryu and Jigglypuff, and Ash gave me a spare Lapras that he had laying around. In need of an Electabuzz, I found another Elekid, which I traditionally killed by accident. On the good side though, I evolved Diglett into Ductrio, which isn't new to the channel, as Ash and I had a Ductrio house in our previous 100 days, which was a really fun video, go check it out. And on day 70, I caught Pichu, and that was about it. I did realize I still needed Squirtle after getting very lucky with Bulbasaur earlier on, but while I was strolling along the river, I found a Pikachu, which meant I did not need the Pichu from 2 days ago anymore. Then on day 73, I finally caught an Elekid, which I also evolved, and then I evolved my other electric friend. Day 74, still no Squirtle, which isn't a surprise with an ultra rare spawn rate, but it was quite frustrating. While I was waiting for Squirtle, I caught this Horsey, and I evolved him too. This little island was gonna be my main waiting for Squirtle to spawn area, but while I was waiting, I accidentally caught this level 68 Swinub, and after that, I found some more, and then I caught them all, until I ended up with an army of Mamoswines. Oops. Now that I was completely distracted and away from the Squirtle spawn, my boys gave me the items which I could apparently use to spawn Zapdos. Yes, the legendary Pokemon. And so I did. I began throwing every ball that I had in the hope of catching him until I eventually did. I have a Zapdos! 2 more legendary birds to go, which, spoiler alert, they also had the items for. Ash has been trying to get the breeding system to work for a while now, but he says it finally works. This means we can start helping each other finishing the decks by breeding Pokemon one or the other don't have yet. While Ash was breeding, it was time for me to catch an Articuno. In this mod pack, you can spawn an infinite number of legendaries as long as you have the items for it to spawn. The item doesn't break and it won't get used either, which meant I could spawn a couple of Articunos to have multiple tries of catching it at once, until I ran out of Pokeballs. So I made some new balls and tried again. Then I caught Articuno, but I didn't even realize it, so I kept throwing Pokeballs at the other Articunos until I saw it sitting in my party. Now, while we were on the topic of legendary birds, the next day I made some more Ultra Balls, because it was time for the last of the trio, Moltres, which consumed every last of my Ultra Balls. And I had a lot. So I had to make some more. But first, watch what happens here.
Son of a
Hey, Dan.
Oh no! Oh no!
You okay there, Spoon?
Oh, no.
What did you do? What did you do?
What did you do?
I heard.
He's done something terrible.
You activated my trap card, Spoon.
What's happened?
I heard it, but
Someone blew some. Oh, did you plant TNT in my house?
I might have.
Oh, okay. Bye bye, house.
No, a Voltorb just rolled in.
oh my god, that's so much stuff.
Did my house just go boom boom?
No.
I hope you read the signs before you went in as well.
Wait, no, I just walked in to get some blue apricorns and it exploded.
I had a sign on there that said "Snobby Nommy, let's go," and then another one, and then another one with a chest that said "This is from Spoon."
After that disaster, I came up with a new strategy. Ultra Balls have a 2x catch rate, which isn't bad, right? But Quick Balls have a 4x catch rate on the first round of a battle. So for my new strategy, I was using Quick Balls on the first round and then running away if it didn't succeed. And I repeated that until I catch one, which was a great success. After that epic moment, I caught a Sandslash, and then it was time for another legendary Pokemon. This time I was going to catch Mew. You spawn Mew just like all the other legendaries in the game with an item you can find in places like end cities and dungeons. Just go to the specific biome for that legendary and right click on the ground. Mew was a lot easier to catch, luckily. Arriving on day 82, I achieved peak manhood. I have to go to a savannah biome.
Screenshot.
I will be right back. I tried to do the...
Was that Batman?
Ryan,
Yes,
do you
thank
still
you.
have, do you still have the wiki for?
I was searching for an Nidoran to use my final Moonstone from several days ago, until Dan gave me the item to go and find Mewtwo, which is the last legendary Pokemon I needed for the Dex. It's funny, because not too long ago we had no idea how we were going to even find legendary Pokemon, and now it's day 83 and I'm already down to the last one. While I was on my way to Mewtwo's designated biome, I asked for the coordinates to the biome, and apparently they already shared it before, and apparently it wasn't the only thing I missed.
There's something consistent here. It's me telling people something, and Spoon doesn't hear it. Spoon. See? He's doing it now!
So yeah, when I got to the biome, I caught Mewtwo. Big deal, am I right? Then Ash gave me an old Amber fossil, which spawns Aerodactyl, but I had no idea what to do with it. Then the next day, I caught this Kangaskhan. Very cool. Ash's breeding was working because he gave me a Squirtle egg and a Nidoran egg, which meant I didn't have to go look for an ultra rare natural spawn for Squirtle anymore. Then both of them were hatched and evolved using the Moonstone for Nidoking, of course. We are getting very close to day 100 and I still need quite a lot of Pokemon for my Dex. Luckily, we have all the legendaries and the Pokemon that are left shouldn't be too hard to find. Ash, on the other hand, only needs Porygon, Chansey, and Dragonite to complete his Dex. So Ash will be helping me with breeding some of his Pokemon while I am looking for others. The first Dex number that I still need is Venomoth, which spawns in a Dark Oak Forest together with his pre-evolved form Venonat. And I managed to find a Dark Oak Forest by day 90, so it did take quite a while. Venonat only spawns during the night though, so I went after the next Dex number I still needed, which is Poliwag, who spawns in a river biome. As soon as it turned night, I didn't find Poliwag yet, so I went back to look for Venonat now, with great success. Yoink! I evolved Venonat to complete the Dex entry and went straight back to Poliwag hunting. We only have 10 days left after all. Finding Poliwag was a little harder than I thought, and we don't have much time left, so I borrowed Ash's breeding machine thingy and his Poliwrath. Now that I have a Poliwag egg, I just have to wait for it to hatch. And of course, evolve it later on. And I actually liked the idea of breeding them myself, so I borrowed everything I still needed from Ash and got started. I fully evolved Poliwag while I was waiting for my eggs, and Ash was trying to spawn a Porygon, and apparently you need to place a bunch of PCs for that. Oh, and Dan was trying to find Dratini as well, which is extremely rare. While I was slowly getting egg after egg and Ash and Dan were grinding for ultra rare spawns, something happened. Oh my god, is that a Parugan? Look at that.
It's a Parugan.
It's a Parugan. Catch.
Welcome back to Brugion Sea. Dratini!
No fucking way. Oh my god.
Today is crazy.
Oh
Today
my
is crazy.
God.
Today is crazy.
Today is crazy.
Come here! Come here, you little noodle boy!
With Porygon and Dratini on our side, we just needed to breed them and get Dratini to level 55 to fully evolve, which meant we were left with two problems: time and Chansey. I'm able to breed a Chansey, but to evolve Happiny into Chansey, you need an Oval Stone, which is really hard to get. We could be lucky as Chansey spawns in the biome we are currently in, but also with a very low spawn rate. So right now, I was just focusing on the breeding side of things, which was going well. I have a Machoke now, and evolved one Tyrogue into Hitmonchan, so now I needed a Tyrogue that can evolve into Hitmonlee. Also, Ash gave me an Alolan Grimer because we didn't have time to get a normal one, so we'll just count this one as well. On day 95, I hatched Scyther and Pinsir, evolved Tentacool, and I got the Tyrogue that evolves into Hitmonlee. For this, the attack stat has to be higher than the defense stat, and for Hitmonchan, this has to be the other way around. Then Ash gave me a Dratini on day 96, which meant I still have to evolve him all the way into a Dragonite, which time was very tight for. I also evolved my Tyrogue and my Grimer, and above all luck, we've had another Porygon spawned. I Mega Evolved my Charizard after Ash gave me the Mega Stones for it, and I evolved my Dratini into a Dragonair, so we're kind of almost there. There are 2 days left, and I just added Jinx and Aerodactyl to the collection, which meant there are 4 Pokemon left, which are Dragonite, Omastar, Kabutops, and Chansey. All of these were obtainable by hatching and evolving, but there was no way I was evolving them and getting an Oval Stone for Happiny to evolve. Until...
Day 987.
Are you still breeding the Chansey?
No.
Then why is there
There's
Chansey
no
in the-
chance he is.
No fucking way! That's crazy! Yo! Then you can come back!
Wow, crazy. What happened? Wait, that was a random one.
It's been here for so
wait,
long.
I thought that was spoons.
I thought so as well!
That's crazy. I love that because that means we all was just ignoring that.
Yeah. I thought it was mine the entire time. I was like, Smooch just reading, but then it was like, wait, he's looking for it. I'm like,
We should have brought that up earlier. Jesus Christ.
maybe we should have done
How
that.
am I so stupid as well? Because I knew that I wasn't breeding him anymore, and I still thought it was from the breeding.
Crazy?
That is so mad, bro. Kabutops, hurry the fuck up. With Chansey caught on the very last day, I didn't think I was getting enough levels for my last 3 Pokemon to evolve, until Ash remembered a way to buy XP candies from a shop using diamonds. And with Ash having over 4 stacks of diamonds, he later that day showed up with this.
You still need to give me back all my Pokemon as well before the day ends.
Some shit.
That's not enough. That's enough.
Yo, another here, Dan. You want to come
That's
up?
enough.
Got him.
Are you done, Spoon?
Evolve 1.
Yo, is that mine Junior?
Evolve 2. And a level 100 Dragonair.
Oh my god.
Evolve.
Are you done? Are you done? Are you done? Are you done? Are you done?
Yeah.
Wait,
Now give me back all my fucking Pokemon.
And with that, we finish the 100 days challenge with a full Pokedex and all of the Pokemon from Generation 1. On day 100, we actually had a little battling tournament, but to see that, you have to watch Ash's video when it comes out. This video, just like the previous 100 days, was extremely fun to make, and if you enjoyed it as much as I did, consider liking the video. If you are interested in one of my future 100 days video or any other content that I make, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.